The following program contains adult language. Viewer discretion is advised. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Technically Speaking Live. It is Wednesday, 8 p.m., always on the East Coast, and 11 a.m., I think, in our Queensland, Australia office. Shout out to Thunder Dan for keeping it down in the COVID-free Down Under. Down Under. We have a wild show today, a crazy wild show, because I'm bringing in the hot takes. Because I've got some questions and some bangers, and would you rather talk about it? Obviously, we have some tech news because we are a tech channel. So I am ready for today's conversation. But before I get to that, a quick announcement about the channel from the perspective of I'm going to be taking probably at least 1 week off, if not two, because honestly, just need a break. Not from the channel. I'm taking vacation off from work as well. And I'm just ready to just chill out. I have some things I want to do around the house, and I really don't want to do anything at all. And that's the plan. That is exactly what I'm going to attempt to do. I might even delete the social medias from my phone. Stats may or may not have welcomed me to the idea of, I don't think I need to have that on my phone. But we'll get into there. So today's show, the topics are going to range from, as soon as I can get to the show notes that are in front of me, I want to talk about exactly what Apple is sharing with, no, wait, strike that. What Facebook is sharing and grabbing of your personal data, which is a big deal. I want to talk about Mortal Kombat. That was probably very loud upstairs, I bet. I bet that was really loud upstairs. Going to talk about Google. Going to talk about Stadia coming to iOS. Probably some Apple stuff. Going to run through Android police in terms of, God knows, who knows, whatever. But I got somebody in the studio today, your friend and mine. Maybe. I'm going back to the screen. I'm trying to buy time. Fill it with a little filler. And Mr. Stats Elf? Stealth? Hang on, I got to unmute you. Go for it.
Stats the Elf.
Stats the Elf. There
Stats
you go.
the executive producer Elf.
Yeah, you're something. You are something. You are very much something today. So let's go take the chat really quick. We are ready to go. Mr. Mike Stroll, ready for the topic du jour. It's going to be a good one, and I think I'm taking the winning side. There's no question about that, in my opinion. Kevin, the Cancer Slayer, thank you so much, my friend. Welcome. I'm hoping you are well. Thank you for stopping into the show today. The Wannabe Geek, the man himself, the CEO of Technically Speaking in Queensland, Australia, is in the chat. Mac, who's loving those Pixel updates, my friend? You've come to the right channel because you know I am the Pixel guy. I love the updates. Hopefully you checked out the video. There's a lot of stuff in that December update. The Pixel drops are once a quarter, so that was the last quarter or the fourth quarter type event. Security updates every single month, but the Pixel updates keep coming. There's a good Pixel update, and I do want to talk about this before I get started. The Google Photos is updating where they can take some of your portrait shots, apply AI to it, and it will animate the photo, and it will show you the craziest thing. It's incredible stats if you've seen what I'm talking about.
I did see just a little clip of it before we went on, and it looks absolutely amazing. It'll be interesting to see what some of the more creative types can do with it as far as, changing perspective, especially from a video standpoint or, still photography that is then also moving. So yeah, I always look forward to what people who are a lot smarter and a lot more creative than I am can do.
I'm telling you right now, the updates that Google Photos, and the good news is with Google Photos, I don't know how they're going to do it with photos that were not on like an Android or Pixel device. I haven't figured that part out yet. But if you're using Google Photos on iOS or Android, my guess is that it's probably going to work for both. I don't know if it's going to be a Pixel exclusive. I doubt that it would be. Although I got to be honest, that would be pretty silly if they made it just a Pixel exclusive. So I don't think that will be the case. But I'm really looking forward to it because it's going to animate those sweet, awesome portrait modes, which we all know. Pixel is the portrait king when it comes to the portrait photography. Best point and shoot camera out of every phone. Some people are saying the Huawei P40 Pro. Yeah, I don't think so. Oh, excuse me. That one snuck up on me.
Caught you by surprise.
Oh, yeah. Michael Pepper Tech talked about the Pixel update, the speakers sounding better. I noticed, I kind of talked about that. The louder the volume, the less you're likely to hear a difference. It's best at 4 clicks below high and down. Maybe. Bionic Scoop, what's good? Stags, welcome to the show. Miss Sheila, as always, welcome to the show. Hopefully, Miss Sheila, you received some sort of piece of U.S. Postal Service mail. Hopefully. If not, let me know. Yeah. So, hot take. The best pizza. Okay, so hang on. I did talk about the Google Photos thing. That was a big deal. Now I'm going to pivot a little bit and go to the talk du jour. Mr. Mike Stroll is in the chat, and I know him and I have talked. And him and I are of the same belief, which if you're going to be of this belief, it is the correct belief that New York style pizza is the best and the only choice pizza that you should eat. Chicago, boo-boo. It's not, okay, hang on. It's not that bad. But I'm telling you right now, if you put a New York style pizza in front of me or a Chicago style, 10 times out of 10, I'm picking up a New York style slice. No question.
I mean, let's be real here. All pizza is good. It's very, very hard to make bad pizza.
I agree, because I eat literal cardboard Little Caesars pizza.
Uh-huh. But...
oh, hang on. Scoop said, respect to you and your crew, deserve champs. Scoop is a Seattle fan.
Oh.
So thank you so much.
Yeah,
we
thank
rep
you.
the city of Columbus. It's great for the city. I will admit, Stats is a much bigger soccer fan than I. I am really not. I rep the city. I was much more in it from the fact that I despise Anthony Precourt.
And Don Garber.
Because of what he tried to do to our town, to our city, by which they got a ton of our taxpayer dollars. I digress. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Stats, go on about whatever flapjacks you're going to say in terms of where Chicago pizza is better, because you're wrong.
I would just say it for me, like a lot of things, it depends on the set and setting.
Don't go all political. You need to take a hardline stance here, sir.
So are we going full extreme here?
Hard line.
If I had to pick one,
you had to pick one. Which one are you picking?
Chicago.
You're an idiot.
It's more pizza.
It's not more pizza. It's more
pizza.
dough. It's more dough.
There is still only one layer of dough
when
on
the
a Chicago
soldiers
pizza.
came back from the war.
What war?
World War II. When they came back from World War II, those soldiers were like, you know what I need? I need pizza. You know what they did?
Yeah, and if they lived in Chicago,
they
got
didn't
Chicago
pick up.
style
That's
pizza.
wrong, sir. That is wrong. Here's what they picked up. They picked up a New York style slice. You go to New York, and look, I don't like New York. You know this. I am not a New York fan. I am not a fan of New York City. Not a city for me. You go to New York, you go to one of the boroughs. Each borough has their own flavor of New York style pizza. I can go to New York City right now. Probably not right now. There's a whole bunch of snow in New York City.
Yes.
I can go to New York City right now, and I can get 2 slices of pizza and a can of Coke for like 38 cents.
Might be a
rounding error.
inflation.
Probably close to like $5 or $6. Let's be real.
I've never been to New York City proper, so I don't know.
New York City proper, I remember.
I can compare it to Fly Pie. Used to be on campus there on High Street.
Okay, fair enough.
It's or like, Catfish Biffs. You could walk in.
It's a lot like Sbarro's, but much better.
Much better. Yeah,
much better. Like,
Fly Pie was great.
I walk in. So when I was in New York for the Made by Google event like 3 years ago at this point, right? And so I walk from the hotel. Right on the corner, there's a Dunkin' Donuts, which was the best. Dunkin', I get my breakfast and I get my coffee, and then at lunchtime I walk diagonal and I get a can of Dr. Pepper and a slice of pizza for $4.
Yeah,
like they warm it up just like you would normally do in Sbarro. Like they throw it,
throw it on the hot oven or on the
literally paper plates,
flat top,
paper plates, the whole 9 yards, and. That's all I ate. Dunkin' and pizza. Yeah. That's all I ate. I didn't get anything else.
I know it's dissembling. I know it's waffling a little bit, but I'm with Sheila. Wherever I am, I'm going to find the best iteration of whatever that food is. So if I'm in New York, I'm not going to look for Chicago-style pizza. I'm going to eat New York-style pizza. But if I'm in Chicago, I'm going to eat Chicago-style pizza.
Not me. I will openly go find New York style pizza in Chicago.
Okay.
I have done that.
I think we should take a road trip when all of this, in another 8 or 9 months when we finally get the vaccine and go eat ourselves silly in both cities.
Okay. So I got Miss Sheila, saying if I'm in Chicago, their pizza's the best. New York, same. Okay. Kevin's saying, I was born just outside of Toronto. Brother and I used to drive 2.5 hours across the border to New York just to enjoy. See, that's real right there. Real New York style pizza. You just roger that. I'm gonna take him off camera a moment because I'm gonna make my case. If you're in the comments, what I want to say is, which pizza are you choosing? You choosing New York? You choosing Chicago? Look, the answer is New York. When I fly out West Coast, I'm looking for that thin. I want that thin pizza. I don't want a lot of dough. I can't have that. I cannot have a lot of dough on my pizza. And some people are going to come say like, yeah, but you get like huge honking things of sausage and pepperoni that's like this thick. Look, I don't want that. I want cheese pizza. That's what I want. I don't want anything else on there. I don't need that in my life. I just need straight up New York style cheese pizza because it's the best. You fold it over, raha. That's what you do, just straight to the dough. Raha, right in there. That's what you do because that's what we do. The soldiers came back from Italy in World War II looking for their pizza. It's the American way. I don't make the rules, folks. I just follow what I do. Huge thank you to Mr. Thunder Dan. The CEO himself gave the owned company back a super chat. Thank you, sir. He says, I got to settle debate from an international perspective. Sorry, Stats. I have never heard of Chicago pizza before. However, in Australia, I have heard about New York style pizza. Ladies and gentlemen, the Lord stresses his case, and there you go. There's the answer. Gotta have a little adult skate here. You know what you can get in a skating arena? Pizza. You know what style it is? New York style. New York style pizza. Gonna get that flat cheese pizza. Just cheese. Don't put any other crap on it. Miss Sheila is right. I would never do that. I'm not going to openly drive to Chicago and be like, your pizza sucks. No.
Yeah, you won't make it out of the city.
No. Stats, I got a stupid question for you.
I love stupid questions. They're my favorite kind.
Does a straw have one or two holes?
One.
That's also wrong.
No, it's really not.
How is it possible for you to be wrong twice in one day?
I can prove it.
Oh, hit me, son. Hit me with your fact.
So something that has two openings.
Uh-huh.
You have two opportunities to move something through those two openings, correct? So think about...
Okay. You just used a whole lot of words, and my brain's trying to process all the words that you just said. I have two holes to push something through is what I just heard.
You have two.
Now, if Larry was here, he would take that as a soundbite.
You have two straws. I didn't
say two straws.
Hang on.
You have one straw.
But I'm proving a point here.
No.
You have 2 straws side by side.
That's 4 holes.
You're using both of them to
Drink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I squeeze one shut.
You've squozen in a hole.
I have squozen one hole, and you can no longer use that one straw.
Yes, you
Therefore,
can.
that straw has one hole.
Wrong again. Because when you clamp off the one and you lift the straw out of the cup, and we've all done this as kids. When you lift the straw out of the cup, what do you got? You got liquid in the straw.
Yeah.
The minute that you open the second of the 2 holes on a straw, what
There's
happens?
only one.
It goes out the hole on the bottom, not the hole on the top.
I swear to God, I read a paper on this earlier this year from an actual scientific journal.
Can we talk about why you read a white paper on a straw?
Because I'm a nerd. We know this. And straws have one opening.
Oh, God, you're not on camera. Let me pull you back on camera. Sorry.
Okay. I can prove my point without being on camera.
Ho, ho, ho! Ho, ho! I know Tech King Mike is in this chat. You are wrong, sir. When you have a straw, it has 2 holes, an open, a top, and a bottom.
It's one continuous opening.
No, it's not. That's
top to bottom.
That's a tube.
Exactly.
That's one tube, 2 holes.
No.
Yes. Yes, it is one tube, 2 holes. You have a hole on one end and a hole on the other end.
So are you saying that you, because we looked this up before the show as well, are you a straw? Because you have an opening on one end and you have an opening on the other end with a continuous way all the way through it.
Those are there's a multitude of holes, sir. Oh, as you can see, folks, yes, we're going to talk about tech, but we honestly, sweet mother of God, this year has been so long, and so we want to bring a little bit of joy, especially if this is going to be one of the last shows of the year, if not the last show of the year. This is definitely the last show of the year for Stats. Stats will be going on vacation again because that's evidently only thing that Stats does in 2020 is take vacations. So he'll be going on vacation, won't be on the show next week. I may have a show next week. I'm not 100% sure. And I know someone did not just show up in the chat and said, "Oh, honey," did not happen. I know that did not just happen.
Fantastic. I
Not
wonder what
just
side she's
one. A
on.
hole does not need 2 ends to be a hole. Wait, what? A hole needs 2 ends to be a hole. No, that's a tube.
Not necessarily. Think about if you poke a hole in a piece of paper.
Okay, hang on. Hear me out.
Okay.
Ears. 1 or 2?
2 ears.
2 ears.
Yeah.
How many holes?
2, but they're not connected to each other like ends on a straw.
Hang on. I'm laying out my facts here.
That the alternative.
By your logic, I only have 1 hole connecting the top and the bottom. You're saying that that's 1 hole.
When it relates to food, yeah.
Those are 2 holes, sir. Those are 2 very distinct holes. Is a donut a tube? Donut's a pastry, sir.
This is a Wendy's, sir.
Sir, this is a Wendy's.
I was going to go even more simplistic than that. So you have a piece of paper. You poke a hole in it, 1 hole.
That's a hole.
But there are 2 sides to that hole.
Okay, I can get behind that.
So there are 2 ends to a straw.
Yeah,
there is only 1 hole
No, that's
in
a tube.
said straw.
A straw has 1 hole, same as a tunnel, same as a donut. I disagree with this. Where's Tech King Mike? Where are you at, sir? Sir, this is a Wendy's. Okay, so let's talk about a little bit of tech news. If you are a Google Stadia fan, which you probably are not, but if you were a Google Stadia fan, Google Stadia is now going to be available on iOS, which is humongous. Google Stadia is the online gaming platform that Google launched, God, it would be like a year and a half ago at this point, and has just continuously started to gain steam. Pardon the pun, because Steam is also a place where you can get games as well, but I digress with that. There's a lot of cool games that are available out there, and honestly, I've tried Stadia. You were here yesterday to witness what Stadia was like. I gamed on a Pixel 5 and it worked flawlessly. I had no issues at all gaming on the Pixel 5. Now, granted, I could not drive worth a darn in the game that I was attempting to show stats how to do that to, but the game worked flawlessly. It was Bluetooth connection between the controller and my phone. There was no latency. Like when I pressed the gas pedal, it was instantaneous in terms of when it went. So if you're looking at Stadia, you can get a good Stadia Founders Edition deal right now. I'm pretty sure you can get a good deal. Maybe look that up. Maybe you should probably not say those things on the internet before I fact check it. You can go get so the Founders Edition, I think, comes with a Google Chromecast Ultra, which is the 4K Chromecast, as well as a full-up controller, which
it's called the Stadia Premier Edition,
not Founder Edition. Sorry,
with a Google Chromecast Ultra.
And the thingy looks like this.
That would be the controller.
Yeah. Let's see if I can get this in focus. I doubt it. Oop, there we go. It looks like this. It looks like a little bit different version of a.
Ooh, they offer a wasabi color
Xbox controller. So one thing I will note for a traditional gamer, I wish that the thumbsticks were just a little bit closer to the outside. That's just personal preference more than anything else. But this works and has worked flawlessly for me when I do use it, which is very, very rare because most of the time I'm playing Forza Horizon 4 with my son on the Xbox, which is not available on Stadia. But if you're on iOS, you want to try Stadia, it will work with your iOS device, which I thought was very, very cool. Google becoming that software company that we all know.
And they're always reaching across the aisle to Apple, even though Apple never ever reaches back.
I hear you, iMessage. I hear you, iMessage.
I don't know. You and I now have RCS on our personal messaging, but you know. Ha-ha,
Kevin coming through in the clutch from Google. Is a tunnel 1 or 2 holes? It's actually 3. You see, it's an illusion. There is a hole in the top of the tunnel. So by that reasoning, a straw would have 2 holes. Boom! Here we go. Hang on. Kevin the Canadian, my friend. This is the Adult Skate, just straight out to you. This is W Technically Speaking. Song just for you, sir. It's always good to be right from me. You're right all the time in here. Okay.
You know what? It's really good.
What?
That you have a couch in the basement to sleep on.
I got a functional fireplace too. I don't even care. Worth it. Totally worth it. Okay. Let's go to, oh my God, this Tom Warren tweet about what Facebook has on you.
Ooh,
folks, we've talked about this before. I am not an overwhelmingly huge fan of Facebook. That they do own Instagram, and I'm very sad about that. They've been sued by the federal government, and yeah, that's a bad thing. But Tom Warren also put out a tweet that talked about, let's talk on iOS what data Facebook has access to from your device. So Apple does a really good job of, and Google does this too, but Apple does a really good job of making it super simple for you to go out and check what data access each of the apps on your device has. What? Why am I stroking out all of a sudden?
Because it's Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
That's a true story. You're not wrong, sir. You are not wrong, sir. Oh no, we've lost him. He's gone. Sir, this is a windy. Oh my God. You didn't even hesitate.
I never do.
You didn't even hesitate to roll me over with that bus. Not even a little bit. You backed over the body. I don't know, because it's Wednesday at 8 p.m. You essentially just said every Wednesday, this show sucks because I did nothing but stroke out. Every single... You're straight up dying over there. Get it together, man. Sir, we are live on the internet.
You're live on the internet. I'm just here for the giggles. Oh, my goodness.
Good God in heaven. I'm sweating.
I'm crying. All right, so Facebook. They're a bunch of very bad people led by a reptilian robot from another planet.
So Facebook, I'm sorry. I don't know if I'm able to get through this.
Woosah.
So Facebook has a lot of access to your data, and Apple does a really good job of showing you what data they have access to. See, I did it right there. That one was a good take.
That was a good take.
That was a good take. So on Tom Warren's tweet, can you copy it and throw it in the comments?
Yep.
Tom Warren's tweet talks specifically about what access do they have, and I had to go through, and it was like pages and pages.
Oh yeah, the video on the tweet is 23 seconds long of him just scrolling through the settings.
So it's a lot. It is a tremendous amount of data they have access to, and it really runs the gamut from physical location, and I mean precise location, where you are standing at the moment, user IDs, location history, purchases, health information, physical locations, contacts, their physical locations, all of that they have access to, and that's just the iOS app. So I would have to assume it's at least that, if not more, on the Android edition, and that's terrifying. Straight up terrifying. That is a lot of information that they have on you. Now, it's not to say that each company doesn't have access to the data that they have on you. We're getting to the point now where we have to start asking the right questions, like, why do they have access to that much data? What are they doing with that data? Are they sharing it with individuals that you don't want that information to be shared with? Are they aggregating it together, stripping out the PI to say, this group of individuals, not you necessarily, is this group of individuals doing these certain things?
But even if they do, let's say they do everything right, at some point, a third party that you may or may not interact with could have access to your information. And as we know, over the last 3 or 4 years, every single major international IT, social media, data aggregator has been hacked at one level or another. So for the simple fact that Facebook, through their algorithms, through their business agreements, through their APIs, can pull down this data without the average consumer knowing it, and then they could get hacked and your stuff is just gone.
Well, I mean, that thing is like, that's very common practice. Like, that is not an uncommon practice to share data and get information from third-party apps. Perfect example. Your health information that you use with MyFitnessPal, that is shared with Facebook.
Deleted that a couple of weeks ago.
That's Under Armour. Yeah. That's an Under Armour app. If you don't have Facebook and you have MyFitnessPal, they share that information with Facebook. That they have a third-party data agreement to say that's exactly what you can do. So even if you don't have Facebook, because I know that Kevin had mentioned one of the many reasons that I'm not on Facebook and will never sign up for Facebook. No way.
Me too, Kev.
The problem is there's a really good chance that they already have information about you, if not your exact information, because of your contacts having a link to you, which then allows them through the terms of service to get information about you. I think you'd be really surprised that Facebook probably has a profile on the two of you and you've never signed up for the service.
Well, that'll just be more fun in a couple of years when they just get hammered by the federal government and I can end up suing them because I've never had an account.
Yeah, but that's a tough sell.
Yeah, I'll get 3 cents in the class action lawsuit.
The problem is, like, we've got to start changing the ways that we fundamentally think about data privacy in the U.S. It's a fundamental human right. You need to understand what people are doing with your data. we should be able to ask the companies, what are you doing with my data? Who are you sharing it with? What is the purpose of the sharing? And if I ask you to, you have to delete it and the people you share it with.
So
we're not getting to that point yet.
Right along those lines, I saw an article earlier today. I apologize. I neglected to put it in the show notes. But
shocking.
Hey, come on now. I created the show notes on Monday.
You did. That was really nice. I didn't read them until today, though.
Facebook confirmed today that they will be leaving their offices in the UK and in the EU because they don't want to comply with the GDPR.
I could have told you that. That's easy.
Yeah, but now they tried to threaten the EU and say, well, you really shouldn't be doing this. We're big. We got lots of money. We're famous. Yada yada. Whatever. It's gonna diminish your people's service and everything. And the EU told them to pound sand. So now,
well, it's also very illegal. You can't change and modify the services,
right? Per
the EU regulation.
Yeah, so they are pulling all of their people, I believe, and at a minimum, all of their data servers out of the UK and out of the EU and transferring them back to California.
Good luck with that because they still have to comply with GDPR regulations. CPRA out of California is no joke either. It's coming. It's a matter of time. We're probably a few years away at this point. There are bigger fish to fry in the United States. Let's be honest. We're going to get there. It's going to take some time. But here's another hot take for you. Are you ready? Alfredo sauce sucks. Straight up disgusting.
I will not disagree with you on this one because I had a very bad experience with Alfredo sauce when I was young that still scars me to this day.
I don't know why people like Alfredo sauce.
And I mean, I like a lot of white sauces, like a bechamel sauce.
A what?
Bechamel. Look it up. It's
God bless
brilliant.
you.
It's delicious.
I'm going to bring up, I hate Alfredo sauce, and I'm going to tell you.
I do not like Alfredo sauce either.
I do not like Alfredo sauce. There's somebody in this chat, if he is still here, that says not only does he like Alfredo sauce, he mixes Alfredo sauce and marinara sauce or red sauce.
Blorp.
Why? Why would you do that? Why would you ruin a perfectly good red sauce with Alfredo? And now he's
going to have some Italian grandmother coming
I am
after
going
him.
to flip the other side. I'm going to flip it. And I'm going to tell you what we used to grow up on. And I love it. And
Sloppy Joes.
Well, no, Michael. I'm not, sir. I am not going to shut my mouth about it. Alfredo sauce is disgusting. It serves no purpose. Out with the Alfredo. Out with the Alfredo.
Down
Gross.
with Alfredo.
Down with Alfredo. Chef Boyardee does not approve. Not going to happen. Blah, blah. Gross. Mike Stroll, love it. Blah, blah. Gross. Now, I will say this. When we were growing up as kids, my mother learned from her mother mayo spaghetti. Yeah.
See, I
mayo
feel
spaghetti, phenomenal. It is literally you make pasta instead of using the red sauce, you use a jar of Miracle Whip and a pound of ground beef.
Nope.
Phenomenal.
My mother is watching. She makes the world's best spaghetti sauce. Nope.
Look, I'm telling you right now, Mike Stroll, if you're in the chat, I'm pretty sure that I got it right. I think it's a jar of mayo.
You
Miracle
said
Whip.
Miracle Whip.
Excuse me.
That's
Miracle
not
Whip.
even mayo.
It's good.
That's sandwich spread.
Sir, this is a Wendy's. It is a jar of Miracle Whip, I'm pretty sure. And it's the pasta and a pound of ground beef. And that is phenomenal. Alfredo serves no, it's not disgusting, Michael's secret. No, sir. Would you rather eat sour cream or Alfredo?
Sour cream.
Sour cream, no question.
Goes on nachos, goes on tacos.
I love sour cream in mashed potatoes.
Oh, yes.
Very, very good.
Yes. Now, when you make mashed potatoes from scratch, skin or no skin?
Skin.
Absolutely.
My
Thank you
son
so
hates
much.
it, though.
We had both varieties last night for dinner here.
Mike Stoll, for those that don't know, is my father. He's taught me everything. He's actually a chef. Very much knows.
A very accomplished chef.
Yeah, very, very much so. It's not a jar of throw up, Michael.
I think Michael Rusi might be talking about Alfredo sauce, but he likes Alfredo.
No, he's talking about the mayo spaghetti. You folks, you don't even know.
All right, so
you don't even know.
For everybody watching, I made this comment last night. I trust Mike Stroll because he is a phenomenal chef. I will try anything once. So I am more than willing to try mayo spaghetti just for the novelty of it and to see what it's like.
I will do it. I will make it.
I don't want you to make it. I want Mike to make it.
It's pasta, ground beef, in a jar of Miracle Whip.
Yeah,
it's not hard to make. I literally just gave you the ingredients. If you can boil water, you can make this.
I will try it. I will report back to the chat at some point. I cannot
wait.
And
make it when you're at home in Memphis.
God, no. I eat Memphis food when I'm in Memphis. I'm going to eat my mother's spaghetti sauce. Maybe my mother will make lasagna for Christmas because she makes oh, man, my mother's lasagna.
I'm going to tell you. I know your mother is watching. I'm going to plead. Here's my plea. I'm asking just one meal. It can be lunch. Make the mayo spaghetti. All you need, it's the pasta, a pound of ground beef, 1 jar of Miracle Whip. And you mix the Miracle Whip just like you would a red sauce. That's all you do. There's nothing special.
In the pan after the ground beef is browned.
Yes, no. Listen. So you make your pasta, then you drain it, and then you throw your ground beef in, and then normally a red sauce like a normal person would do. Yeah. Instead of the red sauce, you just put the Miracle Whip in and just
okay,
and that's it. That's all you do.
Am I allowed to season the ground beef?
Of course. Yeah, of course.
Okay.
It literally, the sauce is the only thing that's different. The only thing is the Miracle Whip. I'm telling you, you'll be surprised.
I might buy the smallest jar of Miracle Whip I can find and do it that way because
well, you gotta sauce it up like you would like a regular red sauce. I'm telling you guys, it's not nearly as bad as you think. It really isn't.
Has your wife eaten this?
Absolutely not. She thinks it's disgusting.
Katie's got pretty good taste, other than when it comes to you.
That's a fact. That is a fact. We're going to go ahead and slang. Pixel's not trash, sir. As a matter of fact, what I should do is I should bring you on this show. Put the whooping on you.
You got an open slot next Wednesday.
I'm not going to have a show next Wednesday.
Okay.
I don't know, maybe. Who knows? All this blasphemy about mayo spaghetti. Alfredo's gross, though. Like, can we all just settle that? Like, I talked about mayo spaghetti, but like Alfredo's 17 million times worse. No question. Is he allowed to season the Miracle Whip? Of course. Also really dumb and stupid is casseroles.
I'm going to disagree with you on
casseroles
that one.
Are stupid. Why? Look. All right. If my mom is watching,
let's
I'm going to come clean here. If my mom is watching, which I don't think she is, but if she were to be watching right now, she used to she would make casseroles out of everything, and I hated every single one of them.
What is your definition of a casserole?
So this came up.
Okay.
The guy the pixel powder.
Yeah.
Which I'm going to now nickname Jason as Pixel Powder because I said that he's beat that horse so bad it's now a fine mist of powder. Mr. Jason Pixel Powder.
Is it Ayanatumo?
No. This is the other Jason that does the new creator every week.
Gotcha.
Casseroles are awful, and why are we married?
What is your
why are we married?
What
at
is
this point?
your
We
definition?
don't like anything together.
What is your definition of a casserole?
Gross.
Focus. What is your definition of a casserole?
So to me, it's I got a whole bunch of crap in the fridge. Let me just throw it into one thing.
So is lasagna a casserole?
So by definition, lasagna would technically be a casserole.
What about chicken pot pie?
That is definitely a casserole. That's disgusting. Chicken pot pie can go fly a kite.
Homemade chicken pot pie.
I don't care
really
who.
Good
I don't
ingredients.
give a rip if the Pope makes it.
Again, you've never had my mother's chicken pot pie.
I don't care if Jesus Christ himself came down and made a pot pie. I'm going to be like, nah, I'm going to go have those mashed potatoes.
So why are you so against casseroles? Is it all your mother's fault?
Yeah, it's pretty much my mom's fault. It's pretty much my mom's fault at this point. And if she's watching the show, you have made me hate casseroles.
One of your 27 phones is going to start blowing up here in a
I
second.
know. I'll be honest. I'm checking now. Did she hasn't texted yet, which is a good sign. It's a really good sign. Like yes, technically lasagna is a casserole. Baked macaroni. See, this gets into the what is a casserole? Here's where my problem is. Egg-based things. Like an egg casserole that's got cheese and meat. I don't like that. But I love omelets.
When we were living together,
I love omelets.
I never made you, again, my mother's impossible sausage casserole.
I don't know what that even means. Okay, so Michael mentioned breakfast casserole, bread, scrambled eggs, bacon, breakfast sausage, and cheese. It's the bread and the eggs. It's almost always too much bread and eggs and not enough meat and cheese. That's where my problem is.
So it's not necessarily that you hate casseroles. It's more the ratio of the ingredients.
I would agree. It's all ratio based.
Okay.
Yeah. If you put more meat and cheese where it's you guessed it, a pizza, then it would be fine.
So by that definition,
no, you're gonna go. Don't bark up this tree,
you
sir.
You should like a Chicago pizza.
No, because
it's a casserole.
No. I just told you I don't want bread and eggs.
There's
want
no
more
eggs in
I want
Chicago
more.
pizza.
I know. I want more meat and cheese.
Yes, but
I don't
build your own Chicago pizza.
What do I get?
Cheese
But
sauce.
what do I get in a New York style pizza? I get a lot of sauce and a lot of cheese and a little let of dough. I don't want that. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. I'm gonna make you an impossible sausage pie, and it is gonna blow your mind because it is basically eggs, cheese, sausage, and just enough breading, dough, Bisquick mix, whatever, to hold it all together, and then you.
I don't want that. No,
you will like it.
Hang on, I don't want it. Fine,
if I try your mayo spaghetti,
fine, deal.
Okay,
If you try the mayo spaghetti, I'll try the casserole.
There we go.
For me, it's I love breakfast. Just I don't want a whole bunch. I don't want whole bunches of I don't want 17 eggs and 2 small pieces of bacon. No, I want the meat.
You want 17 pieces of bacon.
I want 17
and 2
pieces,
eggs.
a little bit of eggs. That's what I want. More meat and cheese. It's not hard, folks. Look, I'm a Midwest kid. Meat, cheese, potatoes. It's very easy. That's
most of the eggs in this country are produced in the Midwest, so you should like eggs.
I don't dislike eggs. You
just don't like them in excess.
Exactly.
Excess.
Kevin says the same guy that's saying casseroles suck is the same guy that says mayo spaghetti is great. Nothing needs to be said. There's nothing upstairs. I don't like pot pies either. Pot pies are just why?
I mean, I'll be honest. Usually,
gross.
I try to duplicate my mother's chicken pot pie recipe, which I believe she got from her mother. Sometimes it comes out great. Sometimes it doesn't. Hers is always better. She's much more patient in the kitchen than I am.
Shocker.
I'm usually very hungry, and I want to eat now. The only other pot pie style dish that I usually enjoy or usually get at all would be like a shepherd's pie, which is a little bit of a flaky crust, kind of like a croissant, a bunch of meat and vegetables topped with mashed potatoes.
I can get behind the mashed potatoes.
Okay.
Mashed potatoes are good.
So
I
once
like
again,
mashed potatoes.
In somewhere from 6 to 9 months, we're going to go out, we're going to find a good shepherd's pie, and we're going to chow down.
But I don't like...
I'll eat the crust.
All right. I don't want the crust. The crust ruins it for me. There's just too much crust. I don't want crust. Look, I love carbs. Don't get me wrong. I just don't want a lot of crust.
Shepherd's pie crust is literally like a pie crust. It's pretty thin.
Yeah. Michael says you do live in Ohio, so there it makes sense. Michigan here. Let him hear you up north, it says. Yeah.
Hey, Digital Slang, make one, freeze it, send it to us. We'll do a live on-air taste test.
One of us will. I'm not eating. I don't want to. I don't want to.
You will try a bite, or you will go to bed hungry.
Fine. I mean, I will try that as soon as Slang mentions that the Pixel's a great phone. I'll try the chicken pot pie. Sure. Breakfast. He mentions nothing about biscuits and gravy. Oh, hold on a minute now, Miss Sheila. Hold on a minute.
Biscuits are in an entire different category from bread or bread.
Biscuits and gravy are two very separate things. Mike Stroll in this chat can make some mean sausage gravy and biscuits, and they're amazing. But I will say this. Hang on, I just...
You had something.
Whew.
Biscuits and gravy, Mike Stroll, food,
grits.
pot pies.
Grits.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah. Nope.
Oh,
out.
You disappoint me, son.
Why? Grits are gross.
Grits are amazing.
No.
Because they're just like mashed potatoes. We had this conversation last night.
Not like mashed potatoes. Don't do this to me.
They are. You can
is
make
this
them.
A tech show or is this a food channel? Because
I don't know. I wrote a bunch of tech stuff on the show notes.
You did, but I
wrote the
like
hot
food.
takes.
I
love food.
I love food. Like, look, I wanted to have some fun about this. It's like we could talk all kinds of tech all the time, and we normally do. We did talk a little bit of this, but I can't help but tell you that grits are disgusting.
Grits are great.
Alfredo sauce. Oh boy.
Grits are a vehicle for shoveling other things in your mouth, like cheese and sausage and bacon.
Oh
and
my God.
onions
So
and
my
peppers.
mom is definitely watching the show. She's definitely watching the show. She just texted me. She said, be sure to add garlic, salt, and onions to the mayonnaise spaghetti.
Garlic,
salt, and
are those three things?
So be sure to add garlic, salt, comma.
So garlic, salt.
Salt, comma.
Okay.
And onions. To the mayo spaghetti.
Like raw onions, onion powder, dried onions.
She just. I'm just reading you the text message. She'll text me once we get to this point in the show. And I believe that somebody just texted me from a very much Memphis phone number that is not programmed into my phone that I can only imagine would be your mother. You've never eaten my chicken pot pie.
That's my mother.
That is definitely from your mom. So, grits and cheese, gross. Grits are just nope.
Again, you've got to have them made correctly.
Michael Secret, how do I feel about Cleveland baseball? I'm a huge Cleveland baseball fan. The Cleveland Indians are changing the name from Cleveland Indians to something else.
The Cleveland baseball team?
The Cleveland baseball team is one that could potentially come up. It could also be known as the Cleveland Spiders, which is a throwback to, I believe, the Negro League, I think.
I think so. Did you see our good buddy Andrew Ward's suggestion on Twitter?
I did not.
Oh, I will. It's safe for work, but it's absolutely hysterical. So let me look it up real quick.
But Michael, I will tell you, Michael Russi, still can't get over the mayo spaghetti because it's fantastic. Try it, and you might be surprised. Like if I have to try a pot pie or something like that, which I openly hate, you should try the mayo spaghetti. It will change your life. Either that or you'll hate it. And you'll unsubscribe to the channel and say, this crazy person told me to put a whole jar of mayo or Miracle Whip inside of spaghetti. Miss Sheila, you're right. No grits. Did you miss something? Who eats mayo and spaghetti? Slang, you're going to... Come on, man. Got to catch up. Here, Slang. Make your chicken pot pie. All you have to say, Google Pixels are legit. They are literally the best phones in 2020. Hot take.
All right.
Just for me to you.
So rolling it back to Cleveland for just a second.
Mm-hmm.
The Cleveland Steamers make the mascot a locomotive.
Stop it.
Make the mascot. This is Andrew Ward. Everybody wins. Especially when Cleveland is on a hot streak and sports broadcasters have to talk about how hot the Steamers have been lately. And then
I will admit, that's very catchy.
The slogan, catch steamer fever. Andrew put a lot of thought into that one, and I approve.
No, exactly. Digital Sling, Miracle Whip, that's dressing. Yes, that's what you put in it. Put in Miracle Whip, in with spaghetti, a little bit of garlic salt, a little bit of onions. Evidently, I'm just literally getting this right now from my mother. And that's what you do. That's all it is. That's all it is. That's all you have to do. We're never going to get to the Google Mortal Kombat stuff. Also that too. Google Mortal Kombat.
I mean, we have 10 minutes, or we can go over.
I don't care. I'd eat mayo and spaghetti before my daily driver's a pixel. Hot take, sir. Wow, sir.
I sense a challenge video and then a response
I'll bring him on
video.
right now. I'll bring him on right now. He wants to come in and talk about pixels. Sir, you could not be more wrong. The pixels are far and away the best devices that you can buy. Did you just not hear that Qualcomm and Google just came up with a 4-year support update? 4 years. New chip, 888 Snapdragon.
I heard about the
4 years
I
of
heard about the
updates.
888. I didn't hear about the 4 years. That is interesting.
Yeah. But Jeff just does that to just try to poke at me. That's why he does it. I mean, I know that he has a Pixel. That's the thing, is like, because I wasn't on his show. I watched his show, and the Pixel 4a was second place, the second best device that you can get per him last week. He said it. The first one was a Fold 2, which I get. Like, that's a legit good.
Oh yeah, that's a
great device.
The Fold 2 is a industry changer. It is a dynamic changer.
100%. Foldables
it's a completely different form factor.
Foldables are. I just dropped something.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I'm sure. Foldables are definitely something that's super interesting. No question that should have won first place, because it made huge strides from Gen 1 to Gen 2. Great device. Would have really liked to see them put the same camera specs that you can get in the Note 20 Ultra. But hey, I get it. They didn't do that. But Pixel 4a was second place. No, Pixel, but so hang on. Poke the bear. Michael Rusi, I said that because Slang and I always go back and forth talking about how he says that, and I poke him all the time saying that, yes, the Pixel 4a really is the best affordable device. No joke. Yes, I'm a big Pixel fanboy. You can call me what it is, but the 4a is simply the best device that you can get at $350. There's just no question about that. It's because you get so much value for the $350. You could get a Poco phone. Yeah, you could get an A5100 or A51 from Samsung and all that stuff, but you're not going to get the same Pixel device updates, the support from Google, and all that other jazz. 350 is really tough to beat. Like, that's no joke, tough to beat. I would definitely say that I would buy a 4a 5G before I would buy a Pixel 5, and I love my Pixel 5. Pixel 5 has been my daily driver. For me, I take a lot of pictures and videos. The white balance. So let's talk about some of the other devices where I'm like, they kind of missed the boat for me. The OnePlus. So the OnePlus I have right here is the OnePlus 8T, and the white balance in the selfie camera is just hot garbage. And so you'll see it either in my video today or the next video that I put out about it versus the 4A. It makes me look almost transparent. Like, my face is so white, it's almost see-through. It's so bad. And I don't know why that has to be that way. People are talking about putting Gcam on it, which I get.
Yeah, but if you have to sideload or upload a completely different application versus what you get stock out of the box, and this has been my argument for years about once you and Greg convinced me to come over to the Android dark side, I have always and only wanted a straight Google phone, a straight Pixel, a straight Nexus device that ran everything exactly the way it's supposed to without any extraneous stuff that clogs up the phone and slows it down.
Yeah, there's no question. Like, for me, that's where I want to be. And it doesn't require the best hardware specs. There's no question from a hardware spec perspective, there's a boatload of devices that are better from a hardware perspective, but from the full UI experience and using the software that's in it, this is why I have problems with Samsung, because Samsung, and I would argue that OnePlus can do the same kind of way, although OnePlus's Oxygen OS skin on Android is the second best. So it would be like the Google skin, which is the closest to pure, but not really ASOP, AOSP is really the purest form of Android. So you got the Google, then Oxygen OS, and then further down the list is Samsung, simply because they just shove horsepower. What? Horsepower?
A what?
A what? Horsepower down your throat. When they really, if they just optimized a little bit, they would run away with it. Like, here is my thing. This phone, the Note 20 Ultra, is a dynamic device. Has the ability to record in 8K, even though I think it's stupid. Like, the ability to record in 8K, 4K, 60 frames a second, front and rear facing. The HDR just is too much. Back it off, and you'd have a very much photo-like experience closer to a Google experience. I'd rock a Samsung device as my daily driver. No question.
If it took better photos?
Oh, yeah, no question. If it just backed down, because when it hits right, it's amazing. It is really, really good. Same with the OnePlus. When you get the photos right, like the lighting, it is sharp. It is great. The videos are also really sharp. But boy, when it misses.
Well, yeah, the video that you posted today, I watched in its entirety on double speed. The stabilization, not as good. The transition from a light sky to a dark sky,
My God. Whoa,
slow,
whip.
way
Jesus.
awful. But, and you pointed this out in the video, when you have a significant quality light source and you have a stationary object, they're
great.
basically the same.
Oh, yeah, no question. I would like the detail is better in some of those shots on the OnePlus.
But for the overall, all around people who throw their phone in their pocket, run out the door, and go live their life, the Pixel line can't beat it.
For me, it comes down to that portrait mode too, because I take a lot of portrait shots simply because it helps me zoom in, right? And so the portrait mode for me is a really, really big deal. And I have trust issues with every other portrait mode on any device other than Pixel. Like Apple, when it misses, holy Jesus, it's way off.
Yep.
OnePlus, same way. The second closest in terms of portrait mode, in my opinion, Samsung. They're really good too. The edge detection on the Note 20 Ultra, holy crap, it's great. It's right up there in some aspects to Google, but OnePlus and the iPhone portrait mode, it can get it right. Don't get me wrong, but I just have trust issues.
But you either have to hope it comes out right, or you have to do a lot more work either in setting up your shot or in post to get it right, versus a lot of people, even a lot of people that are in the chat, they don't have the ability or the desire to screw around with the settings or mess with stuff in post before they post their pictures to social media or print it out at, Walgreens or something.
Michael Russi's talk. Hardware has peaked, in my opinion. It's down to software experience. And to me, you're exactly right. Everybody talks about Apple just working. It just works. Folks, that's a software experience.
Yeah.
Like the hardware is tuned specifically to do that. And that's where I think Pixel has really stepped up the game, but they are killed in the media by the fact that they're using 3-year-old software, or 3-year-old hardware. The Pixel hardware, like inside the camera.
It's a 765, isn't it?
Well, I'm not worried about that. That's not that bad. It's the hardware for the camera. It's 3 years old.
Oh, yeah.
3 years old. And I've heard that it's because they've tuned the AI and the machine learning so well to that specific sensor. That's how they can they've literally maxed that out, in my opinion. You can't get better. And I think they are not going to be able to lean on that hardware anymore. Pixel 5, in my opinion, and I'll be really hard on them next year if this is the case, if they don't upgrade the hardware in the camera next year, that's a big problem. That is a massive problem. There should be, so I guess if it was a spring cycle, the 5A, so if it's a spring fall, so the 5A of next year, if they don't make upgrades to the actual hardware of the camera, that's a problem. Like I'm telling you, Google, like this is it. This is you
heard it here first, Google.
Yeah, you've got it.
You will suffer the wrath of Laird Peachy.
Yes, and all my casseroles and mayo spaghetti. This is it. You can't use the hardware anymore. You got to get some new hardware in there. You're right. Google is kicked by the media because they're a software company. They're not a hardware company. Yeah, they're a software company that makes a phone. They make the software in the phone very good. Their hardware is meh.
But I think for a majority of users, it's an equitable trade-off for what you pay for the device.
Yep. What's my other hot take? You're never going to know what underwater smells like.
Or you'll only know once.
Wow. That is super dark. My God. You won't be able to tell anybody what it smells like, though. Jesus, man. Good God. Okay, so would you rather?
Oh, we've gotten into the nighttime portion of the discussion now.
Would you rather play any instrument at a mastery level but have a horrible singing voice, or sing at a mastery level but cannot play any instrument. You can either have the greatest voice well, not the greatest voice of all time, mastery level voice, but you hit the keys on a piano and it's like you can't even play the shark song.
I'd rather be able to play the instrument because I think the life cycle for that enjoyment is much longer than a good singing voice. Really? Yeah. Huh. I have a terrible singing voice anyway. I wish I could still play the piano. I did play when I was a child. I wish I still had the desire to create or to play music. So I would definitely take the instrument.
You would play any instrument, be able to play any instrument at a mastery level. So it didn't say all instruments. It said any one. Yeah. So you're saying you would rather be able to be a master at the piano,
yes, than be able to sing. Yeah,
I will take singing all day long. I'll take singing all day long. But that's probably because I'm just a glutton. Period. I'm just a glutton. Period.
I was gonna say
full stop.
A glutton for the limelight. A glutton for social media clicks.
Just period.
A glutton for people staring at you in your car as you sing at stoplights.
I love singing now, and I do not have a great voice. I have an okay voice.
High end of mediocre.
Very mediocre. Very definitely the low end of mediocre. I love singing because it makes people uncomfortable. But that's why I like to sing. That's mostly.
So you take the singing voice.
We're making money, baby.
I'll take the piano, and we will make bank.
Would you rather? Which would you rather not apply to you? Laws, gravity, or time?
Laws.
Okay, law, you can do anything, anywhere. You'll never face any legal consequences for it. Law enforcement and feds will act like they don't even see you.
Laws, absolutely.
Gravity, you can jump as high as you want, basically fly. Any small object you touch is also immune to gravity for 10 seconds. You won't take fall or collision damage. Your stomach may not adjust well. I'm getting these from Reddit.
Yeah.
And time. The passage of time does not affect you. You will physically never age from the moment you choose this option. Your body never decays, so you don't need to sleep, eat, or use the restroom.
See, I love sleeping. I love eating.
If you have any wounds, illnesses, addictions, or whatever, at the time of making this choice, it will never heal or go away. But you cannot die naturally, but you're still vulnerable to instant death, like falling off a building.
No, I still take the first one.
It's for me, time. Hands down, time. I don't mind the law thing, like whatever. I'm used to that now, right? You abide by the laws. There's certain things you can't do. I'm used to the laws now. Gravity, I'm not interested in that because I could float off into space, and I don't want that.
This is a really interesting one because
I want time.
A first-year psychology student at Ohio State could have come in and said, well, it's a law of gravity, so if you pick the law one, you don't have to obey gravity either, something like that.
Yeah, no, I get that. Well, so what I'm saying is like I choose time. I want the ability to manipulate,
it didn't say you could manipulate
It didn't say I could
time.
Manipulate time. You're right. I did not say, it basically says I would live forever. I would have immortality as long as I don't have instant death.
The flip side of going down that rabbit hole is by living forever, you would have to watch every single person you know, every single person
I have an out.
you
No,
love.
I have an out. I have an out. I could have an instant death. It said that. But I would just basically, I would never age. I could get to the point where I'm done. Train.
Well,
that was dark.
All right, so
that
if you
was super dark.
Say you choose, I don't know why you would do this, but say you choose to stop aging now, not when you were 29.
I'm a late 30s obese guy that can never die of heart disease. I could eat whatever I want.
But what happens when your kids turn 38? And then all of a sudden you're younger than your kids are.
That's weird then.
I know.
But I get to be the cool dad.
You're already the cool dad.
I am already the cool dad. I take the time. Time for me. I would take the time. I'm describing a vampire. Miss Sheila just says, you are describing a vampire. It's time.
Okay.
Everybody in the chat has said time. And you said?
It's all right. Laws. I'm an outlier.
I'm an Indian outlaw.
I can
have Cherokee and Choctaw.
I can like 196th. I can make a lot more time, and I wouldn't necessarily need to worry about gravity if I had no laws and I could basically steal all the money I wanted.
Okay. I don't think I have anything else. I think that's it. Can you choose the age you stop aging? What if you stop at 10? No, it said that if you choose the option, you stop at the moment that you choose it. So it would be now. Now, if you heard it when you were 10, you could choose 10.
Yeah.
Which would not be a bad idea. So my question would be is like, do you get to maintain? So I have caveats to this, right?
You got to be at least 21.
No, hang on. Do you get the knowledge that you have now and continue to gain the knowledge?
Oh, of course.
Okay, so you could theoretically be the smartest 10-year-old ever.
Yeah, but I would much rather be the smartest 22-year-old, or I'd have to think about it. I think 31 was a really good year for me. I don't remember all that much. So
I had my first Achilles tendon surgery at 29. So
before that, for you,
yeah, it would be my mid-20s at this point.
I mean, I really seriously injured my back when I was 35 or 36, so it would be before that for me.
Look, my 29 to now has just been like I've gotten 2 Achilles surgeries and broke my back. So like 30s has been,
yeah.
I mean, my body's seen some better days. I've also put on some LBs too. So
let's just say 29. You know, you can drink, you can vote, you can rent a car. 28, 29.
I'd take 28. Yeah, I would take 28. That was a good year. That was a good solid year.
I do remember, for some reason, it sticks in my head, when I turned 27, the hangovers got worse. So I might even back it up to 26. That was a long time ago.
I mean, it was a few years ago.
A bit.
We graduated college.
A bit.
A bit ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh. You 1 more year longer than me because I was on that 5-year plan.
Yeah, well. you just had to have somebody come into your life and slap you around a little bit.
All right, folks. Stats, where can they find you?
Well, at least for the next couple of days before I go on yet another vacation and delete all my social media from my phone. Helix Heinlein on the tweet machine, Country Smith on the Instagram.
You can find me at the Scott Peachy on Instagram and at Scott Peachy on Twitter. I say that I'm going to delete it, but I also know that I won't do that. I will not be making video content next week. So my last video, it's either going to be the one I made today or the one that I'll make on Friday. Other than that, I'm going to take time off. I'm going to be in a collab video, I think, towards the end of the year. I've already recorded that. I have a really interesting video I'm going to do at the beginning of next year. It's got something to do with an olive, this olive earpiece that I have. It is like it's like a hearing aid, sort of like a hearing aid, but not a hearing aid. I'll explain it in the video. But on top of that, I have this item right over there that you can't see, but it's electronic stimulation of the brain. I got it, and they're like, "Do you want to try this?" And I was like, "Yes, I absolutely want to try this."
Is it from Elon?
No, it's not. So basically, I'm supposed to wear this thing.
Yes.
I'm supposed to wear this thing for 20 minutes, no more than 20 minutes a day. And it's supposed to be like you put on music, almost like a weird meditation state where you listen to music or hammer through emails and put this thing on for 20 minutes.
So it's a flow state.
Kinda, yeah. It's supposed to electronically stimulate the brain, which will be interesting. So I really don't know.
It's going to have to work hard.
But it's also, you put saltwater pads on your forehead. So like I'm super interested in this.
You're going to smell underwater when this is over.
I'm going to smell underwater real quick if this happens. I'm going to really test that theory of time. Let's be real. All right, y'all. Have a very happy holiday. Thank you so much for a wildly successful year, and I will be back. Let me know. Like, I truly want to know. Do you like when the shows are like this, or do you like them when they're straight tech? Personally, I love when it's not just straight tech. I love that we can talk about tech. I love that we can talk about stuff related to tech, consumer electronics, data privacy, as well as things like this. Cooking, pizza, Alfredo sauce still sucks. Casseroles are stupid. New York style pizza is still the best, and Stats has no idea what I'm talking about. Making it up on the fly.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
No,
You're
you
riffing.
didn't know where I was going with it.
It's okay. I can stare at you all day.
You've known me for a long time that this is what I do.
Longer than I care to admit.
Yeah, that's amen to that. So let me know. Hit me up on any of the socials. Drop a comment in here. Drop a comment on any of the latest videos that says, hey, I really like the new live show format. Or no, the live show was better, 4 weeks ago when we didn't have to worry about you rambling about mayonnaise and spaghetti. But anyway, be good, be kind. Thank you so much for a crazy successful 2020, even though it was the craziest year I can remember in a really long time, although 2019 was not great either. But anyway, we will figure it out. We're going to get it through this together. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I feel like I had to do that. Do we need to
Take it on out.
play 2020 out? I got to get out of here. I'm really going to finish the show at this point. All right, bye.